秀。
洗发、焗油，一步到位，见证秀发奇迹。100%顺焗油洗发膏，盛芳出品。
有情有义有金力，金力环保皂。
补水就用温碧泉。温碧泉。
那几天听听身体怎么说。娇爽全新控温表层，特有小风扇呼吸孔，吹走闷热潮湿，还能瞬间吸收，让保护更舒爽。新娇爽。
贝曼姿立体平衡修护眼霜，分步修护，两全其美。
俺老孙还定海神针去。
不用啦，龙宫用神速管啦。
神速管有何本事？是俺老孙一棒神了！
天上神仙管，地上神速管。
18年来，品质始终如一。爱丽素。
丹妹牌左缺诺孕酮长绒片，72小时紧急避孕。
补水就用温碧泉。温碧泉。
真心的分享，永恒的喜悦。广东双喜文化传播。
淡化细纹，再现青春，安全护肤的倡导者安在秀。
刷出来的好运气，好运气宝宝期。
Artistry 雅姿，芭蕾，我追求100%完美，美白也一样。雅姿美白系列，8重焕白科技，肌肤润白剔透。Artistry 雅姿。
品酒鬼，看中国，相信品质的力量。中国酒鬼酒，
中国酒鬼酒为您报时。
幽默五谷奶茶，奶茶五谷配，
粗纤维不甜腻，新口味。
不喝寂寞，
喝幽默。
同志，
两位留步。幽默奶茶还没买单呢。
懂奶茶更懂幽默，蜡笔小新。
蜡笔小新果冻行家，更多美味果冻行家。带给你快乐的果冻行家。神奇配方卡拉胶藏在海藻里哦。
幽默五谷奶茶，奶茶五谷配，
粗纤维不甜腻，新口味。
不喝寂寞，
喝幽默。
同志，
两位留步。幽默奶茶还没买单呢。
懂奶茶更懂幽默，蜡笔小新。
咦？嗨。Thank you.
Thank you.
蜡笔小新鲜 Q 果冻爽，新鲜果汁添加膳食纤维和椰果，酸酸甜甜够 Q 够爽，好喝就要 Thank you。新鲜的表达，蜡笔小新鲜 Q 果冻爽，蜡笔小新。蜡笔小新果冻行家，更多美味果冻行家。带给你快乐的果冻行家。神奇配方卡拉胶藏在海藻里哦。小心366
新口味，
不喝寂寞，
喝幽默。
同志，两位留步，幽默奶茶还没买单呢。
懂奶茶，更懂幽默。
Hi, I'm Mark Edwards. Welcome to Travelog and welcome to Qingdao. It's become almost unbearably hot in Beijing over the last couple of days, so we thought why not pop over to a place where the temperatures are significantly lower. It's the 4th largest seaport in China, as well as being a modern, thriving city. I've been told there's a whole plethora of things to do besides just taking in the sea breeze. So let's get started. Qingdao's International Marina and Olympic Sailing Center is located on the site of the former Beihai Dockyard on Fushan Bay, adjoining the May 4th Square. With an urban population of over 3 million people, you'll find that around these parts, it never feels crowded. And there's no quieter place than the waters of the vast Yellow Sea. With a climate that's almost perfect for sailing, it comes as no surprise to find that the sport in Qingdao is really on the up. Never had to do that before on a bus. This area has been completely revamped, making it a pristine and fun luxury port and entertainment venue. Considering all the water around here, it's no surprise that the authorities are playing up its many uses, whether it be for speedboating, yachting, sailing, or even water busing. I'm sure that's not something you hear of every day. It's an experience you can dive right into. At a cost of just over $10 US for a 45-minute trip, you can enjoy a quick tour of the marina by bus, and then a tour of the harbour by boat, with something called the Adventure Duck being the complete 2-in-1 package. One of the things that really jumps out at you as you sit aboard your duck bus boat is the way this former Olympic venue is still very much alive. Some might say even more alive than during the events of 2008. So we've taken a boat out here because it's a lovely day, sunny, and we're going to go and see what the harbour's got for us and just generally get a bit of feel, get our sea legs on, which I'm not so sure I'll be able to do. One of the main reasons for the success of the marina is the uptake from children who are keen to learn how to sail. So you can find all sorts of things out here. People win sailing, there's shops and restaurants, there's buses, water buses, our boat butt just over there. Yeah, plenty of things to do out on the sea here in Qingdao. You'll see kids of all ages getting their boats ready on a Saturday morning, hyperactive and eager to get out on the water. We managed to spot children as young as 5 and 6, looking far more professional as sailors than we could ever hope to be. So don't be surprised if Qingdao produces a string of Olympic medalists in the not-too-distant future. Qingdao has another, more peaceful side, besides being a prime holiday destination and weekend getaway. Some cities in the world are totally geared towards the huge source of income that is tourism, but there are people in these parts who just seem to get on with their lives. Stroll around Shebei and you'll see what I mean. Now, the further away you get from the sea, the more you'll be able to take in the everyday lifestyle of the local people. And we're here in Shebei, in the northern part of Qingdao, and immersing myself in a bit of the local traditional culture. Now that said, if you do miss the sea, don't you worry. They've built they've turned what used to be just a mud pile canal into an irrigation system with using seawater. So we get the sea breeze, and I'm going to take some of that in now. Work up an appetite whilst you're out strolling, and you'll be rewarded handsomely. Now, you don't have to have visited the country to know that the Chinese love to eat. Then again, who doesn't? But to Chinese, food is life, health, and good fortune. They live to eat, and China's cuisine is as varied as its geography and people. So I'm by the lighthouse of this rather astutely constructed concrete harbour. We've got boats, we've got masts, we've got one of these weights here, and on top of that, each of these boats is actually a restaurant in its own deed. So you can have yourself some Sichuan food, some local Qingdao food, all in different places. Now, the pièce de résistance, or the icing on top, is the fact that someone lazy like myself can be having some good bit of Sichuan hot pot. Say I feel like a bit of roast meat from a different restaurant, the pulley system behind will have it delivered straight to me. Logically, you'd think Qingdao was a place simply for seafood feasts. There's much more here than just the clams, which incidentally, Qingdao is famous for. Known as the cradle of Shandong cuisine, the area around Qingdao is rich in sea cucumbers, squid, prawns, shellfish, as well as numerous fish species. And every spring and autumn, the Jiaozhou Bay area is rich in local shrimp. Located right in the heart of Qingdao, Shebei district, with a population of over 500,000 people, is the city's economic, cultural, financial and commercial centre. It's not a particularly big area, but if you hop from street to street, you'll find something different around every corner. Here we're in the old part of Shebei, which in turn is one of the oldest parts of Qingdao. This ancient commercial area has a relaxed and friendly atmosphere, almost as though you've strolled into a village square. I've been told that back in colonial times, this was where the Chinese residents would come to meet one another. But it doesn't seem to have changed too much over the years. And having seen what the toddlers are up to this morning, it's also a chance to take in the lifestyle of the city's older generation. So out with the old, though not literally of course, and in with the new. In this case, concept. Lots of theme streets. So when you're strolling around the theme streets in Qingdao, you'll find that they're very closely packed together, which is a good thing, because you get to have the smells emanating from the beer factory, the smell of the hops just drifting over as you walk around. I'm heading into the cultural street, which I've been told I can pick up some trinkets and some sort of cultural relics as well. Now, if you're slightly worried about being ripped off, don't be. Qingdao men are renowned for being straight talking. So if it's fake, they'll tell you so, and you'll get an appropriate deal. You can find these types of markets all over China, but that shouldn't deter you from trying to hunt down that essential bargain trinket to cherish or give as a great present. Some might be tacky, but others might just earn you a friend for life. Right, enough shopping. It's time for a beer. And in Qingdao, it's undoubtedly the easiest commodity to get your hands on. Besides drinking it, you might want to dive deep into the world of beer. And in that case, the Qingdao Beer Museum and Factory is the place for you. First brewed in 1903 by the beer-loving Germans, Qingdao beer has received tremendous national and international acclaim, thanks to its refreshing taste that owes a lot to the crisp Laoshan spring water. The tour is split into 3 parts, and your first stop will be taking in the history and what brought this beer to such prominence. You'll see a room with every single design of Qingdao beer bottles over the last 100 years. Then you'll move on to a full-scale walk-through tour of the ancient beer-making techniques. Run your hands through the different types of hops used to make beer, and then see how many of the world's beers you can spot in their massive display. From lager frolics back to the real world. Won't take you long to round the corner and be thrust into the heart of the Qingdao beer-making industry. In many ways, it contextualizes perfectly everything you've just witnessed. The old techniques compared to modern efficiency. Not so much of a personal touch, but you'll still be entranced by the thousands of cans and bottles spinning everywhere around you.
Now, whether you're completely, totally teetotal, a raging alcoholic, or have absolutely no opinion whatsoever on the nectar, Qingdao Beer Factory simply has to be visited. It's got something for everybody. We've got how beer was made 100 years ago, all the way through to how beer's made right now. You can even have your own picture stuck on a beer bottle. And there's a room that simulates being drunk. Wonder what that's like. Just to let you know, I really have not drunk a single drop of beer, totally professional, and it's just a room that simulates being drunk, and it really works. Not that I know, of course, but definitely feel a bit funny. Right, that's enough for me.
Right, it's 5 p.m. and closing time at the pub. I mean, beer factory. You might have to be dragged out of there as you finish your glass of one of the freshest beers you've ever tasted. But at least there's plenty to see just around the corner. Tianmu Cultural Street is a surreal experience, to say the least, but one which every single city planning council should envisage having.
Well, as if Beer Street isn't cool enough, there's a place at the other end called Tianmu Street, and it's this covered market sort of thing here, but it's full of wonderful things. We've got restaurants, bars, tea houses, there's a gym, there's entertainment, all sorts. There's lovely ladies here. Hi. Who are all dressed in traditional clothes. And what else we got? Yeah, tea houses. There's places where arcades, and places where you can drink. And look at that, face changing.
Formerly 2 disused factories with a roof added over the top. It's a food, drink, musical, entertainment and visual extravaganza, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There are hired performers everywhere, and clearly a lot of thought has been put into creating a relaxing atmosphere that appeals to people of all ages, and from all ages. Creativity was a key aspect of Tianmu, and this little pocket of arty innovation even has a foreign bookstore to offer.
So we've managed to locate a very nice, quiet little corner in Qingdao, which very much reminds me of the 798 Art District in Beijing. And here, we've also arranged a meet and greet with the owner of a foreign bookstore, because the population, there's a huge number of foreigners here in Qingdao, predominantly Korean and Japanese, I've been told, which makes sense considering how close those countries are to the coast on this side. So let's go and meet.
Warm friend's wedding. For the next 2-3 years, and then depending on how business is going and how, also depending on what we found at the school.
Who's this little guy?
This is Liam, my son.
Is Liam going to be speaking Chinese, do you think?
Yes, definitely. Brilliant.
Rather surprisingly, this bookstore seems to be as popular with the Chinese as with the foreigners. Come down here if you're looking to buy a brand new bestseller, pick up a bargain second-hand book, or simply improve your English